So I mentioned in the introduction that payments are evolving, and they're evolving rapidly. So from 10 years ago, they've changed. So the Martina 10 years ago, what would surprise you to know about the current state of payments today?
6 years ago, when I joined Featurespace, no one had even heard of it. That's the first thing. And then if we look at these emerging countries, with the way in which people are now paying with alternative payments, Alipay with QR codes, M-Pesa in Africa with mobile, there's a huge shift that's occurring. So I think the main thing for us is to make sure that we're looking at what consumers are doing and how they're reacting and interacting with different payment methodologies, and making sure that we are completely current with that. It's sometimes very hard for established organizations to really see these seismic shifts that occur, and even harder for large organizations to change. So I think it's the lessons of the internet calling forward really into the modern world now and saying, if you can see that the impact that the internet's had on industries such as retail, how do we make sure that the shift that's occurring right now in the world with payment methodologies are going to be relevant to large companies?
And you were mentioning the consumer, and TSIS were people-centered payments and focused on people and the end user. And I think it goes right along with what you were saying, is making sure that we're focused on what their needs are, staying ahead of the curve, and even predicting their needs before they realize it.
It's interesting. I mean, I just an example from my internet days. The US market is so big that things that are occurring in other parts of the world sometimes can end up getting you a little bit later in the US. So if I see the disruption that Google caused to Yahoo, we were feeling it in Europe long before the US felt it, just because the sheer scale and size of the market. So I think, having that eye on everything that's occurring around the world and the payment methodologies that are occurring, I think that will certainly help ensure that TSIS is safe for the future.